Hey everyone, this is going to be a quick demo video showcasing a granular synthesizer I made. So I wrote this in C. I did it for a class. It was an audio programming in C class. And this was my final project. And since then, I've been kind of adding to it, making it a little better. And right now, this is the current version I have. So yeah, I just kind of like to show you how it works. So if you're unfamiliar with granular synthesis, basically you input a given sound file or audio, and then it will kind of chop it up into grains, and you can control how those are played back. But it plays the grains back. They're very small, 1 millisecond to 200 milliseconds, and then it can play it up to frequency rate or space it out by milliseconds. And I'll show you kind of what that sounds like. Here's the original file we're going to be granulating. Just a simple 2-second amen break. But then if I start the processor here, you can select what MIDI device you're using and which audio device, and then it starts processing. So now I'll show you what happens if you change the grain size. So these are longer grains, and you can hear them overlapping to create that filter effect. And if we shorten that, eventually it's short enough to where you can't even tell the original audio file, but that's what happens when you use the smaller grains. And then if I change the grain rate, so there I'm slowing down the grains, and let me expand the grains a bit so you can kind of hear what it's actually doing. So this is slower playback, but then if you speed it back up, then once you get to like frequency rate, it sounds more like just a synth. And then as well as that, you have independent control for the playback speed. So if I slow that down, here you can hear that it's completely stopped. And then if I speed that back up, now it's starting to slowly play back through the file again, but with the same granular effects as before. And then you can also double the speed. Now it's going through the audio file twice as fast. And yeah, I find you get the best effects when you do a slower playback speed. And then lastly, last parameter we have is the windowing size. So this will change how sharp the transients are on every grain. So here's a good speed to try that out. So this is as sharp as it can be. Let me speed that up. And then if I smoothen them out a bit, it's a pretty subtle effect, but you can kind of hear it if you're playing around with it. Sharp again. And then smooth. So yeah, that was it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you're interested in checking this out for yourself, I will have it uploaded to my GitHub pretty shortly here. So yeah, thanks for watching.